She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain. Endometriosis, Stress, and the Neuroendocrine Axis. Navigating Cellular Displacement, Cortisol Dynamics, and Somatic Resilience. To understand the modern landscape of female reproductive pathologies and their direct impact on orgasmic capacity, one must analyze the lifestyle of the contemporary woman. Endometriosis has emerged as a prominent epidemiological challenge, particularly among women living in dense urban environments who are balancing demanding careers, operating under constant time constraints, and enduring high levels of emotional and psychological stress. Chronic anxiety, systemic exhaustion, and suppressed emotional tension are not just psychological states, they are powerful biological disruptors. These states alter the neuroendocrine axis, degrade the immune system, and fuel the progression of inflammatory diseases. Intimate gymnastics addresses this condition by regulating systemic stress hormones, balancing pelvic blood flow, and strengthening local tissue immunity to help suppress endometriotic activity and restore comfort to the pelvis. The etiology and pathophysiology of endometriosis. To understand endometriosis, one must analyze the behavior of the endometrium, the highly specialized, vascularized mucous membrane that lines the interior cavity of the uterus. Throughout the menstrual cycle, the endometrium responds to ovarian hormones by proliferating, thickening, and expanding its capillary networks to prepare for the implantation of a fertilized ovum and support early pregnancy. If conception does not occur, a drop in progesterone triggers the shedding of this structural layer during menstruation. Endometriosis occurs when cells structurally identical to the endometrium migrate, implant, and grow outside the uterine cavity. This displacement typically happens through two primary biological mechanisms. Embryonic misplacement. A woman may be born with a genetic predisposition or experience microscopic cellular misplacements during her own fetal development. If her mother endured severe illness, trauma, or profound neuroendocrine stress during gestation, embryonic precursor cells can displace, embedding themselves into the peritoneal cavity, the spine, the lungs, or even cerebral tissues. Retrograde menstruation. Viable fragments of endometrial tissue flow backward through the fallopian tubes during menstruation, escaping into the sterile peritoneal cavity. Regardless of where these ectopic endometrial cells settle, they retain their original cellular programming. They remain completely synchronized with the monthly fluctuations of your ovarian hormones. When estrogen levels rise and fall across the menstrual cycle, these displaced cellular clusters swell, break down, and bleed into surrounding tissues. Because this blood cannot exit the body through the vagina, it causes localized tissue irritation, extensive scar tissue, adhesions, chronic inflammation, and severe radiating pain in the lower abdomen, spine, or pelvis during menstruation. The urban stress catalyst and cortisol dominance. The rapid increase in endometriosis diagnoses among ambitious urban professionals highlights a direct connection between emotional distress and cellular pathology. Prolonged psychological strain, suppressed frustration, and chronic work anxiety activate the sympathetic nervous system, forcing the adrenal glands to continuously pump out stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This chronic stress state disrupts the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal-ovarian axis, leading to hormonal imbalances such as functional progesterone deficiency and localized hyperestrogenism. Ectopic endometrial lesions are highly sensitive to these shifts. Adrenaline and cortisol actively trigger inflammatory pathways, causing endometriotic implants to expand, become hypervascularized, and undergo painful inflammatory flare-ups. Consequently, a woman's monthly period transforms into a painful ordeal marked by heavy bleeding, dark blood clots, exhausting cramps, and deep pelvic pain. This chronic pain state trains the nervous system to perceive the pelvis as a zone of trauma, leading to hypertonic muscle spasms and a significant reduction in a woman's capacity for intimate pleasure and orgasmic release. How intimate gymnastics regulates endometriotic activity. While conventional medicine focuses on blocking hormones or surgically removing lesions, intimate gymnastics alters the internal environment of the pelvis, helping to slow the progression of the disease and significantly reduce pain through targeted physiological mechanisms. 1. Rebalancing the central neuroendocrine axis. By pairing precise pelvic exercises with rhythmic, slow diaphragmatic breathing, intimate gymnastics stimulates the vagus nerve and shifts the body from a stressed sympathetic state to a calm parasympathetic state. This natural reduction in adrenaline and cortisol helps rebalance the entire hormonal system from within. Over time, this downregulates the hormonal stimulation that fuels ectopic endometrial growth. 2. Enhancing pelvic circulation and tissue cleansing. Ectopic endometrial implants thrive in stagnant, poorly oxygenated environments where metabolic wastes accumulate. The targeted, systemic muscular contractions of intimate gymnastics act as a local pump, accelerating venous return and opening sluggish lymphatic drainage pathways across the entire peritoneal cavity. This process continuously clears cellular debris, breaks down stagnant fluid, and delivers highly oxygenated blood directly to the uterus, ovaries, and adrenal glands, promoting healthy tissue maintenance. 3. Boosting local tissue immunity. Chronic pelvic stagnation impairs the movement of local immune cells, preventing the body from managing displaced tissue effectively. Improving local microcirculation allows specialized immune cells, such as macrophages and natural killer NK cells, to navigate the pelvic cavity unhindered. This robust immune presence helps control and suppress the activity of misplaced endometrial cells, breaking the cycle of recurrent inflammation. Clinical outcomes and quality of life transformations. When a woman systematically practices intimate gymnastics to manage endometriosis, she can expect distinct, measurable improvements in her physical well-being and menstrual health. As pelvic circulation improves and local inflammation subsides, the structural quality of the uterine lining normalizes. Practitioners consistently report a dramatic reduction in the length and intensity of their periods. Heavy menstrual flows characterized by dark clots give way to smooth, manageable, and pain-free cycles. The deep, radiating aches that previously plagued the abdomen, lower back, and pelvis begin to lift, eliminating the need for high doses of anti-inflammatory medications. By transforming the pelvis from a site of chronic inflammation into a vibrant, well-oxygenated space, intimate gymnastics removes the mechanical and neurological barriers caused by endometriosis. This process helps resolve painful intercourse, restores structural elasticity to the vaginal tissues, and allows a woman to reconnect with her body, paving the way for deep, full-body orgasmic responses and a renewed sense of vital health. Discover the secrets to nurturing your lifestyle and love style at Wish for Love. The electronic version of all chapters from the full book She Who Awakens by Alina Chamberlain can be found at wishforlove.org.